to uh, do your sample book. Okay, I didn't. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I brought an example of my sample book because Lisa and I do this. We actually do the project just to see what how you guys suffer. And okay, so my original book, I'm not gonna lie, I did it the night before. Now, I didn't have 84 samples to do. Okay, it did take me some time. It was tedious. I could have gone about it a lot better way, a better way. Now, I think it was around the Christmas break. I decided to do the sample book, and I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for 20 something years. I want to knock this sucker out today. Nope, nope, no. So what happened? My first attempt. You hear that? First attempt. I did it, and I thought, oh, I'll cut everything out using my paper trimmer, because then everything will be the same size, and everything will be level, and da 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 da. And then I started putting it down on the page, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, Angela, you know this is a C. If I was to grade myself on a design, it's a C. It was messy. It was, So I had to, and I was cocky, guys. I threw all my samples in the trash. And then when I saw that I was doing C work, I had to go back in the trash and dig everything back out. So yeah, that's how serious it is. But then I went back and I made some adjustments. I did a 3-column grid on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I've given you your Word doc. It's a Word doc. It's this one here, sample book definitions. I've downloaded it to my desktop. Okay, I'm going to go in InDesign. Now, you guys, some of you are in Type 2. Some of you have taken Type 2. Some of you have not. I want you guys to design this. The reason why is 11 by 8.5 is because that's the standard size of a letter sheet. You do not have to trim anything down. Okay? And that's why I did that. It's horizontal. You're going to do facing pages. You guys, do not bleed. If you bleed, you have to print to a larger sheet and trim it down. Okay? So I stay within my margins, whether they're 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch. How do we want to do this? I think we'll do 1/2 inch. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create it. And this is my first page. But I'm going to set it up. Oh, I'm not designing the covers in InDesign. I want to do a label. And I want you guys to consider that. Do not do an 8.5 by 11 sheet and cover it because it looks ugly. And I'm going to take points off. I want it to be designed. You all are designers. Okay. So my first page of my book. Well, let's see. Let's add some pages. And insert pages. Let's insert 10 pages. And I'm going to go to my master pages. Hopefully you guys have been talked to about master pages. They are basically the style sheets of what the pages look like. Okay. So I'm going to set up my basic interior pages. So if I go to layout, I have both my master pages selected. If I go to layout and go to margins and columns, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to have preview on so I can see what's going on. I want to have 3 columns, okay, because I plan to put 3 samples per page, okay. One thing I didn't think about was my binding. My binding takes up a significant amount of real estate on my page. So if you guys want, come up here and you can measure it. It takes up maybe 1/4 inch. but I also want to be mindful of that. So I think I gave myself a lot, but maybe I'll just do an inch on the inside. That's 6 picas. And I'm going to keep everything else pretty much. Maybe with my gutter, I may extend it just a little bit so that there's space between samples. Okay? All right. So this is what, I'm still on my master page. Okay. So there's things that I want to do on my master page, like I want to have a frame. And I want the frame to have a decorative edge. And you should have a color scheme. Bring in your color scheme. Okay, guys, you're like, oh. CMYK is so over. So over. Yes, it's the basic printing colors. But you really have to design a good book in order for the CMYK to look good. A lot of students use the CMYK. Just FYI. Okay? So make sure you have a color scheme. And there's my border. And I want my corners to be rounded. I did that. And now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to bring in a page number. And I think I said this in, I covered this in, what is it? Type 2. When I do a page number, I put in, I know it's probably going to be double digits. The widest number is normally 8. So I put in double 8s. And then I pick a font that I want to use. And I make it small because it shouldn't be that important on the page. And I think I'm going to keep, I think I want to make it, yeah, okay, 7 is good. So I'm going to design it, and I like to line it to things. So I'm aligning it to the edge. I also like doing this. I'll put the text box up against like another text box or a margin, and then I'll go to Object, down to Text Frame Options. And in Text Frame Options, I'll do an inset spacing and say that I want it to be no, that's too low. 1p6, that's too low. Command B will bring it back. 1, okay, I can live with 1. So that if this moves and I click on a box, and if it's not touching this, I know that it's off. Okay. Okay, zoom out and stroke. I want this on the outside. Okay, and it's sitting on the line. That's perfect. I also am going to take this and bring it down and extend it. And this is going to be Art 265. This is called a folio. Graphic Techniques sample book. Okay. Then I'm going to copy all of the, oh, wait. I want this in paragraphs to be a line left or line right. Okay. I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to clone it and move it to the following page, and hopefully I got the alignment right. Okay, I can align it based on my page numbers. Hello. Okay, so this should be in alignment with that. So I'm just going to move that over until it does, and it's in alignment. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a shuffle. I'm going to bring this box over to the left and my page number over to the right. And I'm going to align it, and paragraph, align right. This is going to go back to left. But with this, I'm going to name it whatever section I am in. Like for instance, paper. But I like for it to be generic, so I just call it section. Okay, and then just notice this should be in alignment with my margin. Okay, so I'm going to take 88, I'm going to select it. This is how you do your automated page numbering. I'm going to select it, I'm going to insert a special character. I got this drop down menu by holding down the control key. I'm going to go to symbols, markers, and then current page number. And it's going to give me an A, which is my master page. And I'm going to go do it on the left hand side as well. Okay, so that's one of my master pages. This is my inside master page. I am going to duplicate this. And I like to name all of my masters. So this is going to be an opening spread. So I'm just going to type in opening. And I'm going to double click. I'm going to keep this, but in my opening spreads, there will be nothing on the left-hand page. So I'm going to delete all that. Okay. On my opening spreads, I will not have a page number or a section. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to get rid of my stroke, and I'm going to do a fill of magenta, and then I'm going to add a new stroke, but I'm going to make that white, and I'm going to bring that in so it's a little bit smaller on the page. Okay, like that. And it might help if I use my align tool and centered it. Okay. And then I love layers. You guys do too. And layer 2 is going to be my text layer. Layer 1 is going to be background. And I have my, I have it set up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a text box on a text layer. And if it isn't on the right layer, I move it to the right layer. And I want the term or the section and then the definition. Zoom in, and then I'm going to typeset that and then set style sheets for it. So let's use Rockwell because I love Rockwell. Bold, and I want it to be like 18 points over 20, and it would be great to be all caps. And I'm zooming through this because I'm assuming a lot of you have lived through this before. If not, you could just have me on slow-mo when you watch this on YouTube. We never have. 10 over 14, and that's going to be text. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Maybe I want everything to be white, and of course that makes things change, so I'll just redefine the style. Okay, so my first page is going to be a B, and then everything else will follow as an A. Okay, so if we look at our Word doc, Jesus Lord, really? Okay, Word is temperamental. It shouldn't take this long to open up. It's not that complex of an application where it should take this long to open. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There's going to be some things that's missing from here that's in my book, but not in this text. Okay, so let's do this. So this is, if you need to read through this, but basically it's the term and the definition. So I'm going to go into InDesign, and to unlock something that is on a master page, on a regular page, it is now locked. So if you hold down the Command Shift and click, it'll make it active. Okay, can you guys see that? Excuse me, I know red over pink. That's crazy. Let's make it yellow. Okay, so this is, I just released that. So I'm gonna, oh wait, I haven't put the text on this page. So what I'm going to do, I need to go back, and I'm going to put in a text box that has 3 columns. Now, it's abbreviated on mine, but on this main bar, you should be able to set up your columns. Now, I have my column, my text box selected. I'm going to text frame options, and I'm going to make the number of columns 3, and my gutter is going to be 6. Okay, because we have to remember that from when we set up the document. Okay, and I'm going to clone it and bring it over to the second page. And then I'm going to do something else. And you guys, I'm dead serious about this. You guys need to do this. This is going to help you. This helped me when I was setting up my book. I'm going to zoom in, and my picture, my samples are going to fit the width of the column. Okay? Now looking at this is 18 by 17. So what is that? If I change it to inches, it turns out it's 3 inches by 2.9. So maybe I'm just going to make it 3 inches by 3 inches. So I know that my images are going to be 3 by 3. Okay? But I'm not going to print a box, because what if I am off? Okay? Now this is where you guys are going to watch and you're not going to listen. One person's going to listen. I know who that person is. Or 2 people. Okay. Okay. Take your pen tool and you draw a line. You make it like a 0.5 or 0.25. And you make it solid and you make it cyan, but then you tint it anywhere between 10 to 20%. And what's going to happen is going to print very faintly. Do not use black because you will see it. And I'm going to put it at the top of all my pages. I'm sorry? Can you see it? It's supposed to be faint. This is how I do my die cuts and packaging, because it's kind of like a ninja. It's there, but you can't really see it. Okay, so we've done this, and now I'm going to go and I have my box selected. Hello, oh, I got it locked. Okay, there's my box, it's selected. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to place my text. Now, please know I have a little bit more front matter. I have a half title page that is in there. I'm not starting exactly with the definition. I have a dedication page that I dedicated to my production instructor, Mr. Walt Radcliffe. He's the person in my head when I cut. And then my table of content. Okay, I'm just showing you guys how to do the interior with all the goulash. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, and some people don't know this, but when you open up a document, you select all the text, and in paragraph style, select the main text you'll be using, the main style you'll be using, which is text. Okay, so this first section is going to be called artwork, and that's going to be section start. And I know what, I've been doing this for a while, so it's not that hard for me. But artwork is imagery that may originally vary in medium, but is ultimately translated to digital files for reproduction. And that's going to be TIFF. And I am going to, if you hit enter on your keyboard, it'll jump things back. I don't like hyphenation, so I need to go into my paragraph styles, the hyphenation, and turn that off. Okay. Now, it did that, but now I got to link this text box to the next page. So there's that little red cross, and you take it to your next page, and boom, it puts it in. And then you click that next text box, the next little red cross, and then boom. And then eventually, if you're like me, you're like, Angel, this is getting old. I'm getting tired of doing this. This is cray-cray. This is how you do it quickly. You click on this red box, you hold down the option key. When you get the option key, you see that little, you see it says, you see this? It just shows a little thumbnail. Mm-hmm. But when you turn on, you hold down the option key, it turns into a little flow, like a little snake. That's how you know. And now I can click and put all that junk in. And even if you run out of text, you could continue, because let me tell you, it's going to continue to flow. Okay? And if you ran out of boxes and you still have this, just click on an arrow and it'll go away. Okay? Any questions so far? Yes.
When you do that, does it just copy the same format from the first text box?
The first text box, I selected all the text and assigned a style sheet. So now when I zoom in, everything, oh crap. Okay. So we go back and apply, oh, no. We go back, we edit text, and we need to make it black. There we go. And we need to make, we eventually we're going to have to come back here. And make this white. And we could do a different style for that, considering that we're going to be using this more than once. Okay? All right, so you can keep it like this, or I like to, sometimes you have to do this, guys. I like to go in and I like to keep, this is not a good color. Why did I think yellow was going to be a good color? Let's try blue. Okay, so what you're doing now is just basically going through and it's putting in returns and hard returns, really hard returns, and assigning your text. And sometimes it does this crap, but when you start moving things around, it goes away. So just be wary of that. Okay. and I would look for double spaces because they're here. Don't trust anything anyone gives you. Not even your instructor who yells at you about that stuff. Yes. Wait, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. It's enter. It's enter, not return, enter. If you have a laptop, it's normally FN, that FN button. I call it the fun button. And then return. Is it called fun or function?
I like fun better.
Fun, because FUN, and then you spell the CTI. So we're gonna call it fun, the fun button. Okay? And this, of course, has a hyphen. I want to get rid of that too. And then here we go. Halftones is a new section. So I don't want it in the next column. I want it on the next page. So I had to hit enter twice. And let's zoom out. So it needs to come, the new section needs to come between these two pages. So I'm going to take B and drag it down between pages 3 and 4, which is now 4 and 5. And I like to keep this box empty so that when I link, it goes into the box. If there's text in it, that's not going to jive right. So this is going to be my section start. I want to have a definition, but that's going to hit enter and then go to the next page. Now what I did with my book, each section has a different color. And then I went in and with this section, I wrote what it was. Okay? So does everyone get the gist of what this is? And da 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 da. Okay, so this is where the video ends. Make sure you save it. And now I'm just going to print pages 2 and 3. Actually, I'm going to print pages 1 through 4. And we're not going to have a bleed because there isn't a bleed. And it's kind of important on these machines you set it up with Rico and letter. And then the printer is going to be 8.5 by 11. And I want it two-sided. And I want it to print on the short edge because it's horizontal. And then I'm going to hit print. And then print again. Okay? And I'm going to end this video now. Okay?